The world is full of strange places and experiences that we might not even have the slightest clue about. From suitcases that end up in a mysterious shop, to a sky-high restaurant floating in the air, or even a library where, instead of books, there are living people on the shelves sharing their life stories. Today, we're going to go over 5 of the most unique and real places and experiences in the world together. Things that will both amaze us and maybe even make us want to try them out someday. So let's start this strange journey together. Did you know that in the state of Alabama in the southern US, there's a really interesting place called the Unclaimed Baggage Center that truly surprises people? This center is considered an amazing tourist attraction, and every year, many people from different states in the US and other countries visit or shop there. The motto of this center is, "You never know what you'll find here." They collect a ton of lost items from travelers here. In fact, this center buys suitcases that no one has ever come to claim, still unopened and with no one knowing what's inside, from airlines, train, or bus companies, and then sells the items inside at much lower prices. That's right, they sell them. Now, you might be wondering why these suitcases aren't returned to their original owners. Well, this company only sells items that can't be identified and can't be returned to their rightful owners. On the other hand, this company has contracts with airlines and other organizations that have already compensated passengers for the loss of their luggage. It's worth noting that, overall, only about 1% of suitcases get lost, and out of that 1%, in 98% of cases, the owner is found and the suitcase is returned to them. In the end, the suitcases that still remain unclaimed are bought by this center. Interestingly, all the items inside the suitcases are sorted and prepared before being sold. For example, clothes are sent to the dry cleaners before being sold, and they're sold clean and ironed. Jewelry is also cleaned and tagged with a price. Electronic devices are first checked to make sure they're working, then their data is wiped and they're prepared for sale. Finally, items that can't be sold are either donated or recycled. Another interesting point is that at this center, you can even find top brands and brand new items that still have their price tags, things travelers bought during their trips but never got a chance to use. In short, among these items, you can find all sorts of interesting things, from clothes and shoes to mobile phones, laptops, headphones, and even some bizarre medical equipment. Now, let me give you a surprising statistic. In recent years, the Unclaimed Baggage Center has sold more than 3,000 iPads, smartphones, laptops, cameras, headphones, and other accessories. On the other hand, it's said that this center brings in more than 5,000 items every day, and most of them come with unbelievable discounts, up to 80% off their original price. So, if you ever find yourself in southern Alabama, my recommendation is to definitely check out this center. Even if it's just to look around. If you're looking for a unique and top-notch experience in air travel, you absolutely have to try Singapore Airlines suites. The special cabins of this airline are designed so that it feels like you have your own private space in the sky. So it doesn't matter if you want to work, eat, or just relax and unwind up there. Everything you need is provided for you. These suites can be either single or double. So with doors and windows that close, it really gives you a complete sense of privacy. The interior design is very unique and has a stylish decor, usually including a seat you can adjust and turn into a double bed. Plus, in some of these models, if 2 people book side by side, they can have a full double bed, not just a seat that turns into a bed. In addition, you can also use a stylish dining table. The flight attendants serve you delicious meals prepared by world-renowned chefs, along with classy drinks like wine and champagne. But one of the most interesting experiences on this flight is that you can use special services like Book the Cook. So, what exactly is this service? Instead of just choosing from the limited in-flight menu, with this service you can select your meal in advance, online or by phone, from a much larger menu that includes international and specialty dishes. For example, you can order steak, lobster, unique Asian dishes, or special vegetarian meals. Now just imagine sitting in your luxurious suite seat, and then they bring you exactly the meal you want, just like in a top-notch restaurant. Amazing, right? In short, these suites offer you a much more special and luxurious experience that can make your flight truly enjoyable and memorable. But let me tell you an important point. These suites are only available on Singapore Airlines A380 aircraft. So if, for technical reasons, your flight changes and your plane is switched, then these suites won't be available anymore. Alright, now let's talk about the Maeklong Railway Market, which is located about 80 kilometers southwest of Bangkok, the capital of Thailand. Honestly, you can say it gives you a unique and special shopping experience. This market has been operating since 1905, and what makes it so famous is that it's built right on the railway tracks. To put it simply, the stalls and booths are set up right on both sides of the railway track. Then, whenever a train is about to pass, the vendors quickly pack up their umbrellas and their goods. The train goes by, and then everything goes right back to where it was. Watching this scene is really exciting for tourists, and it's made this market quite a sensation. But one very important point is that, despite all its charm, this market shouldn't overlook safety issues. Proper and well-done construction is crucial so that the lives of vendors and visitors aren't put at risk. Because commercial appeal should never come at the expense of people's safety. This way, the government can truly take advantage of the market's fame and significantly improve infrastructure and safety measures, so tradition and modernity can coexist without anyone getting hurt. Now, let's move on to the Human Library in Denmark. In some countries, there's a library called the Human Library, where instead of shelves of books, there are people with unique life experiences. For example, a war refugee, someone with a physical disability, a person who used to be homeless, someone who has struggled with depression, or anyone with a unique experience. In fact, these people have usually experienced discrimination, social exclusion, or being labeled. Visitors can talk to them, ask questions, learn about their situation, and hear their life stories to understand them better and challenge their own prejudices. It's interesting to know that one of the first and most famous examples of a human library in the world was established in 2000 in Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark. This project was launched by a group called No to Violence, and its goal was for people to talk to each other and set aside stereotypes and discrimination. After Denmark, this idea spread, and now it exists in many countries like Norway, Germany, the Netherlands, Canada, India, Australia, the United States, Switzerland, France, and others. Now, let's go to a very special place in the Svalbard Islands of Norway, near the North Pole. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault is the largest and safest seed storage facility in the entire world. In fact, this place is also known as the Doomsday Vault, because it stores more than 1.3 million seed samples from almost every country in the world. And if one day another world war breaks out, or there are severe climate changes, or for example a disease or natural disaster wipes out crops, humanity can use these seeds to restart agriculture from scratch. Now you might ask, why was this vault built at the North Pole, and 150 meters inside a mountain at that? The answer is simple. It's because the Earth's natural resources help keep the seed safe. In fact, since the temperature inside this seed vault needs to be around -18 degrees Celsius, the permanent ice and thick mountain rocks help keep the seeds frozen even if there's no electricity. On the other hand, Svalbard is politically and geographically very safe and neutral, so it seems like an ideal place to build this seed vault. This seed vault has 3 rooms. For now, only one of the rooms is filled with seeds, but overall, it has the capacity to store up to 4.5 million different types of plants. You should know that this place is completely closed off and not open to the public. But if you want to see what it looks like inside, you can go to their official website and join a virtual tour, which is actually a really cool experience. So, we just went over 5 interesting and different topics together, but if there's one thing they all have in common, it's creativity. The world is full of bold ideas that blur the line between what's ordinary and what's strange. Of course, unique and unusual ideas are really just responses to the specific needs or concerns of people. From providing food for the future of humanity to breaking stereotypes and creating unforgettable experiences while traveling. This means that when people look at the world from a fresh perspective, they can create things that are both useful and exciting. The lesson we take from this video is exactly that. When we pay attention to people's specific needs, it can spark the creation of ideas that are both unique and different.